Thank you, Adrian. Well, it took some time for the good times to come back to Kenilworth Road, but here they are. Just 9 years ago, the Hatters were at Hyde United in the National League. Now they find themselves within touching distance of the Premier League. It's been an extraordinary rise. They say you only appreciate football's good times when you've endured the bad. Every Hatters fan is relishing this moment. Of the four sides in, these players are the only one without Premier League experience, although they could hardly have got closer. Ahead of the inaugural Premier League campaign, the Hatters were sent down on the final day of the old First Division, a defeated already relegated Notts County in a match in which they led. Had they won it, they'd have stayed up. More than 30 years on, they've still not been back. The journey since was dominated by more downs than ups until the recent past. Now, though, there's just one step to make on their meteoric rise. Now, within that ascent, Luton became the last side in the league to win back-to-back promotions. That's a feat that Sunderland are trying to emulate. Because having finally laid their playoff bogey to rest last season, the Black Cats have made further stunning progress, grabbing the last place on the final day. Wouldn't be a proper May without them. But this top six finish in the context of a managerial departure and horrendous injury list is an achievement that rivals most of the club's recent past. They're unbeaten in 10, extend that to 11 tonight, and they're back at Wembley. Luton line up with Horvath in goal, Osho, Lockyer and Bell, Drummer, Clark, Nakamba, Rollick and Panzu, who was playing in those non-league days, and Doughty, and Morrison Adebayo up front. Sunderland, Patterson in goal, Hume, O'Nien and Gooch, Roberts, Ekwa, Neal and Clark, Ahmad and Pritchard, and Gelhard. Referee tonight on the Premier League list, Simon Hooper, and there is no VAR. Luton players don't take the knee, but they do stand arms around each other on the edge of the centre circle. And that is a symbolic gesture and a reminder that there is no room for any form of discrimination within our game. Well, they're ready to go. Both of these clubs have had lengthy spells in the top flight, but nearly every supporter here at the Kenny tonight has supported their side through hundreds more games in the lower divisions than they have within the elite. Tonight, though, either Luton or Sunderland will move within 90 minutes of the Premier League. Which will it be? It will be Luton that will get us underway. And they're kicking from right to left in this first half in their orange shirts. Sunderland in their change kit of all sky blue. A long ball, and it won't be the last of them. Pumped forward towards the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. It's cleared, and Lockyer lays it all the way back to his goalkeeper. I'm delighted to say a man who knows the idiosyncrasies of the playoffs inside out is alongside me, Matt Holland. Good evening, Matt. Good evening. It's a brilliant game, isn't it? A brilliant atmosphere inside Kenilworth Road. So much at stake. Premier League football next season is the prize. There's certainly one go at it at Wembley in a playoff final. Two contrasting styles of football. Sunderland, inventive, short, sharp passing through midfield. Luton, back to front quickly, second balls, high press. Fascinating game. Well, they are direct, unashamedly so. Strong defence, lots of crosses inside the penalty area. Sunderland will be working in much more intricately. More than one way to skin a cat. A 2-1 Sunderland lead from the first leg in a game in which Luton had scored first. In fact, all three games that Luton have had against Sunderland this season, they have scored first and they haven't won any of them. They've got a free kick, Sunderland, which is taken through the midfield for Ekwa. Ekwa with a touch that was just strong enough to get back for Lyndon Gooch. And the American clears it down the left-hand touchline. Gelhard is in there very strongly and gets the better of Lockyer. He's just waiting to see if he could get it in towards Ahmad inside the penalty area. He couldn't quite, and the free kick goes Luton's way. Away to our right-hand side. Beautiful Bedfordshire evening. A glorious sunshine. Hardly a cloud in the sky over most of our vistas. A few away to our right-hand side towards the town itself. Glorious conditions for a match of some magnitude and a wonderful atmosphere to boot. Yeah, you made a really good point about the pitch as well.
in the build-up to the game, how much smaller it is than the Stadium of Light. That obviously suits Luton. I'm a little bit surprised in some ways that they watered the pitch. It's well within their rights to maybe not even water it. Those long balls over the top where it just holds up a little bit. We were at Everton at the weekend, and Everton did exactly that for the game against Man City. Decided not to water it, left the grass a little bit longer. Luton were well within their rights to do that. They haven't done that yet. It is quite short, the pitch, isn't it, the grass, and they have watered it pre-match. That suits Sunderland in many ways.
Yeah, that's what home advantage is when it comes down to it, to set the pitch up as you want. Now obviously there are minimum dimensions. Just go back to that point that you're making, the ball's out of play incidentally for a Sunderland goal kick. So this pitch is 5 yards shorter and 3 yards thinner than the one at the Stadium of Light. That doesn't sound much, but it equates to 705 square yards smaller than the one on Wearside, which is about 8%. Now that is significant, without a shadow of a doubt, and it's going to play quite clearly into Luton's hands. Ball's out of play for a throw that Trey Hume will take. The score of the winning goal in that first leg. It's 0-0 here on Talksport with 3 gone.
Yeah, the pitch certainly suits Luton, doesn't it? A direct team, a high press team. They have the most high turnovers in the Championship this season.
And the Sunderland throws very quickly become a Luton throw. It's taken by Ruddock-Panzu. Back from Mari Bell, who actually had a spell playing under Tony Mowbray at Blackburn. He's driving forward here towards the edge of the penalty area, given a shove, play allowed to continue. Clark digs it clear from the edge of the penalty area, gets it towards halfway, where Joe Gelhardt, Joffy, as he's affectionately known, a striker on loan from Leeds. He's actually playing in a slightly more withdrawn role with Ahmad as the most advanced of the 3 forward players at the moment, but it'll change in various phases of play, I'm sure. Morris, 20 goals to his name this season, has done well. Feeds Alfie Doughty, coming in off the left flank. Gelhardt's done well in turn, comes back, goes shoulder to shoulder with him, gets it forward upfield quickly. Ahmad will chase it. Lockyer has got a head start, gets it back for his goalkeeper, the American Ethan Horvath, and he will play it out from the back for Amari Bal. Pressure then coming on Marvellous Nakamba, and it's telling pressure as well. Pat Roberts winning the ball back, finding Ahmad on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Ahmad with quick feet, tumbles into Amari Bal. No way that was a penalty. Certainly looking for it, but it was great skill by Ahmad to get himself into a decent position in the first place. Now Clark's got it on the Sunderland left. He has been fouled, and it's a free kick to the Black Cats in a pretty central position, actually, about 25 yards outside the box. 0-0, 5 gone here on Talksport between Luton and Sunderland. Here's Matt Holland.
Yeah, positive period actually for Sunderland. We've talked already quite extensively about Luton being a high press team. We just saw that from Sunderland as well. Ball went back to the goalkeeper. Ahmad closed him down very quickly. Then the goalkeeper tried to play one into midfield. Pritchard was there to win the ball back. A good few period of passage of play there for Sunderland.
Yeah, I have been concerns about Alex Pritchard's fitness after that first leg, whether he was going to be able to make it today. News that he was in the travelling party was agreed with the assumption that he'd been only on the bench, but he is in the starting lineup. He stands over this free kick along with Ekwa. It looks as though Pritchard is going to take it. Indeed he is. And he's fired one in towards goal, but it's gone high and wide. And that was decidedly optimistic. It was about 38 yards out, and he hit across the ball and sent it spiralling wide at the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, file that one under ambitious. The thing is with Sunderland, they're going to have to do something different from set pieces. They can't just put it in the box like we're going to see from Luton, because they are so much smaller. They've got to try and be a bit more inventive with their free kicks.
Although they did score the winner with a header the other day with Trey Hume, and it was all about, not about the height, but it was about the clever movement as he got in between Morris and Osho to be able to steer his header in. The pass Horvath. Luton get it forward here. Adebayo with a good touch. He missed the playoff campaign through injury last season, and boy did Luton miss him. He's got it again now. It's just rolled across his body. Ekwa appeals for handball. No chance. And he's cleared it, eventually goes off the nearest Luton player and out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken away to our left-hand side. 7 minutes gone, and it's got that intensity and pace that you'd anticipate. These playoff games, whether you've got skin in the game or not, they are absolutely fantastic, fascinating encounters, and this one has the makings of being everything like those that have gone before it.
Yeah, not quite settled yet, has it? And both sides trying to find their feet and trying to play at a tempo, close down quickly. Neither side has settled into a rhythm as yet.
Jack Clark's had an excellent season. He's just given a little shove there, but not out with the laws of the game. Play continues with a throw that's taken quickly back for Horvath, and he whacks it forward again, looking long for Adebayo. Ekwa's had a good start and sticks his foot in, and then 9 can clear. High ball forward from him. Ahmad's going to chase it, and Ahmad will make his way forward, and he just gave a little shove to Osho. He's then gone down after the whistle had gone as he carried on going with Lockyer, and he's ended up on the deck holding his face. Simon Hooper, the referee, is just going to have a little word with Lockyer and also walk over to see the severity of the problem that Ahmad has. But the free kick's actually gone against Ahmad for the earlier just clip of the heels with Gabe Osho.
Yeah, there's a coming together, and I think Diallo did bring Osho down, but there's no real need for Tom Lockyer to get involved, and because the decision had already been made by the referee.
Well, he's back on his feet, and the pair of them are just being spoken to by the referee. Does have the feel of the game that, because it's so intense, and as we've been saying, the fans are on top of the players, figuratively if not literally, it just has the feeling of a game that there might be a few cards dished out tonight. Free kick's going to be taken for the foul on Osho by Ahmad. It'll be taken by Horvath. He's the only player in that half of the field as he whacks it forward long. Morris going up for it, heads it down. Adebayo's back to the direction of play, trying to turn. Pritchard flicks it away from him. Low ball whipped in from that Luton right-hand side by Cody Drammer, another one of the players on loan from Leeds. And then Sunderland do well to eventually hook it clear. It was Dan Neal that got it away, and it goes out for a throw that Amari Bell will take quickly. Down the touchline, looking for Morris, cleared. Rodder Kampanzu trying to stop the ball going out of play for a goal kick. He's managed that. Will he be able to drive it in more successfully? Well, the next best thing, because he's got it off Roberts and out of play for a Luton corner. Now, they only conceded 2 corners in that first leg, which was absolutely integral to the Sunderland game plan, but here's Luton's first tonight.
Yeah, just listen to that noise as well. Home team right behind their side. But expect this one right on top of the goalkeeper. Anthony Patterson has got men around him. I expect this to go right on top of him.
It is a right-footed in swinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Got it down and turned in. They score from their first set piece. I think it's Gabe Osho that will take the credit for it. High ball inside the penalty area, nodded down, ricocheting around inside the 6-yard box, tapped in, and just as they did in the first leg on Wearside, Luton score from their first set piece. They lead 1-0 on the night. It's 2-2 on aggregate.
If you thought it was loud when they won the corner, what about that when the ball hits the back of the net? Rob Edwards immediately turned to the stand to our right and waved his arms to the crowds as if to say, give us more noise. What a start for Luton. That is their game plan. Set pieces, delivery into the box, long balls. Can you deal with the second ball? Can you win the second ball? Can you win the first one? The ball falls to Osho, and he makes sure he drives it home for Luton Town. And what a game we've got now.
Dead level, and Luton have 80 minutes playing at home to make the most of it. But I go back to the point that I made 3 or 4 minutes ago. The 3 previous games between these two this season, Luton have scored first in all of them, and they haven't won any of them. So there's still a long way to go. But the atmosphere that was already intense has just been ratcheted up another couple of notches. 1-0 Luton Town lead. Come into this game on the back of only 1 defeat in the last 15, which was that first leg on Wearside last weekend. They've never won a league playoff match. Is tonight going to be the night? Osho, the goal scorer, on his 3rd of the season. He takes the throw. Down the right-hand touchline for Luton, who are in their own half at the moment. Sunderland win it back with Ekwa. Challenge comes in on him and is a foul. has been given away by Clark, and a free kick that will be taken by Sunderland inside there, just inside Luton territory, and Luton lead it by a goal to nil.
Yeah, when you talk about height advantage, I've just seen the replay of the goal. It's Lockyer who's being marked by Alex Pritchard. What's Pritchard? 5'6", 5'7"? Lockyer, the centre half, wins that first ball into the area. It falls kindly to Osho, 3 yards out, and it's a simple task of poking it into the back of the net. And it's the perfect start for Luton Town. And it's Tony Mowbray's biggest fear coming into this game was defending set pieces. How do we do that? Defending the long ball, they're in a back five, and the two central midfield players are almost on top of the centre-backs. And they're trying to limit the space and limit the area where the ball can get into Morris and Adebayo. And they've done a reasonable job of that when that ball's gone long from back to front. But from set pieces, you can see that's a big problem for Sunderland.
Now Sunderland have their first corner themselves, and it was very nearly in. Ekwa, then it hits the post, I think, via a deflection. And Sunderland players are absolutely begging the referee to give them a penalty.
It's a hand.
It did look as though there was a hand in there. Now, there is no VAR. There is for the final, but there isn't tonight. And it did look as though there was a hand in there. You could tell by the reaction of players. 7 of them immediately sprinted to referee Simon Hooper. He didn't see it. He can't give anything that he didn't see.
I think it would have been really difficult for the referee to see it. After they'd gone to the referee, they went to the assistant and said, "Did you not see it?" It would have been a better angle from the assistant's position.
In comes the second corner. That one's dealt with much more effectively. Adebayo heading it away at the near post. And out of play for a throw. Ahmad wants to take it quickly. The ball has gone into the Luton fans, and they're just standing remonstrating with Ahmad rather than giving him the ball back so the play can continue. Fans doing their best to make this as hostile an atmosphere as possible. Now the referee is being called over by the 4th official. I don't know whether on the Sunderland bench they've seen a replay and the 4th, there's something was said over there perhaps, but the 4th official has called Simon Hooper over. It is Andy Madley who's in that role tonight. Now the referee has been in consultation. Now he's going to make his way back over. Is he going to speak to any of the players directly, or is he going to allow play to continue? 1-0 the score. Just play on. The play will resume with the throw taken by Roberts. Played down the line for Ahmad, and won back by Alfie Doughty. And Matt, you've seen a replay of that handball shout?
Yeah, and it hit Amari Bell, but it hit him from about 2 yards. The distance was minimal. I think it would have been really harsh. He's put his arm down by his side. I don't think VAR, even if they'd gone to VAR and had a look at it, would have overturned the decision of no penalty. It actually hit the post after it hit Amari Bell. Yeah. It then ricocheted off the post. So good response from Sunderland to go in that goal behind.
Yeah, their first set piece, very nearly a productive one as well. But it is Luton that lead it. 1-0 Gabe Osho with the goal on 11 minutes. Doughty, first time ball in. He's actually gone for goal rather than trying to pull it back across the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's ended up being saved by Patterson. Sunderland coming into this on the back of 2 wins in a row, 5 wins in 7. They're unbeaten in their last 10 games. They've only failed to score, though, in 1 of their last 31 matches, which was a game against Burnley back in March. So from that point of view, Luton may well feel that they are going to need at least 1 more to be able to get the job done in regulation time tonight. Stays this way, of course, it goes to extra time. No away goals. There haven't been in the playoffs for 20-odd years now.
Now, we were the victim of that in 1999, the victim of an away goals defeat to Bolton.
And it was on the back of that, it got changed, wasn't it?
I think that's right, yeah.
David Sheepshanks made not a complaint, but a suggestion that perhaps it should be scrapped. Our supporter side, they very nearly benefited from it, from away goals, but Torquay being Torquay didn't hold on till the end of extra time to be able to do so that day, but gave him a couple of minutes to be one of the last to go through on away goals. Here's Pat Roberts will make his way forward now down the Sunderland right-hand side. It was 16 minutes in. It's 1-0 to Luton, as it was at this stage of the first leg. Roberts picking the ball up in the midfield, down towards Dan Neil. Neil now to Ahmad, coming in off the right flank. It's a clever reverse ball in. Roberts trying to get in between the lines. Delhart withstanding the challenge of Osho, can play it out towards Jack Clark. Clark travelling inside the penalty area as he won the corner. No, not quite. Right-footed cross which deflected off Drama. and goes into the hands of Horvath, who just looks long. Didn't even think about it, picked the ball up, punted it 80 yards straight downfield just to see what would happen. It's the Luton way.
Yeah, and then it's that surface where it's been watered, it just skips off the surface into the goalkeeper's hands. But better play from Sunderland, moving it through the thirds. And actually, I don't know how Amad Diallo's become the brew boy here at Luton. He was the one that was brought down by Tom Lockyer, but because he was down for a period of time, he's all of a sudden has become the brew boy.
Has scored in the last 2 matches against Luton. Scoring in the first leg, 14 goals this season he's scored. It's been an excellent loan spell that he's had on loan from Manchester United. Over on the far touchline, one of the Sunderland players has just gone down for him. He's okay, he's back on his feet. It's Gooch, I think. But he's okay, he's going to be able to continue. We'll play it forward, left-footed. You're with Talksport, Jim Proudford and Matt Holland talking through the action from Kenilworth Road. Luton leading 1-0, 2-2 on aggregate. Lockyer getting involved again, in with Gelhardt, and just a little bit of pushing and shoving going on. It's still going on between the pair of them off the ball as well. Now they desist. Bell heading it forward, long ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. It was guided down, trying to get Clark in inside the box, but it'll be cleared by Sunderland. Pritchard coming back, Ekwa to Gelhardt, he can turn, he's got movement either side of him, good ball, play forward, Ahmad, goal side of Doughty, bringing forward towards the edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot, tries to get a shot in, comes back from Roberts across the edge of the 6-yard box, nobody there to get a touch, cleared, only as far as Ekwa. First ball forward from him hits Clark, and then goes back out to the left flank for Jack Clark. His ball inside the penalty area is cleared, and Luton eventually can put a foot on it with Nakamba before Doughty looks long and gets it upfield. Drama playing it forward. Ekwa is in there, and now it's brought down by O'Nien on the edge of his own penalty area. O'Nien into the feet of Neil. And back for Luke O'Nien again. 19 minutes in. And it's Luton 1, Sunderland 0. Here's Gelhardt. Gelhardt on the edge of the centre circle. Finding Pritchard. Pritchard out to the left-hand side for Jack Clark. Can't find a way past Jordan Clark. Is able to pick it up. Jordan Clark incidentally picked up a yellow card for the poor challenge a couple of minutes ago in the midfield, which had just left Gooch on the deck. So he's the first player to have his name taken tonight. Sense he might not be the last. Osho with a long ball forward and more wrestling between two players. The referee said it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And he lets it go, and it's going to be a throw which will be taken by Lyndon Gooch, but only after Carlton Morris has gone across the assistant referee to complain about the non-decision his way. 20 minutes gone, 1-0 to Luton.
Yeah, and it's been a really fascinating start to the game. High tempo, as you'd expect. Luton a threat from those set pieces. Sunderland just started to get a foothold in the game. Just started, they are a possession-based side. They're a side that likes to have the ball. Luton less so. And they're just starting now to create a few opportunities in the final third. Ahmad had a brilliant run, tricky run into the box, but nobody really went with him. Patrick Roberts did his best to get up from right wing back, got himself in the box, but there's nobody else in there. They're just starting to see more of the ball in Luton territory.
Well, possession at the moment, 58% for Sunderland, which is broadly in line with what you'd have expected. Notwithstanding the fact that they're away from home, their pass accuracy rate will be much higher as well, but Luton just playing to the game plan. It's served them so well over the course of the season. Third place finish they've had in the Championship this year, their best since 1992 when they were last in the top flight. They've done it with an outstanding defensive record. They've got the second best defensive record in the division, and their best for 54 years. Only Burnley conceded fewer over the course of this season. Here's Nakamba on loan from Villa. He was urged to shoot, he was never going to shoot. The ball down towards Doughty. Doughty gets towards the byline, standing it up. Patterson has dropped it under Jerez, cleared off the line twice. Adebayo with the second one, which was hammered away. I don't know whether Luke O'Nien got both of them off the line. He certainly got the second one clear. That was just another high ball inside the penalty area. Patterson claiming he's not been protected by the officials, but didn't seem to be too much wrong with it.
No, they didn't. Doughty down that left-hand side is a real threat, isn't he? As soon as he got half a yard, he's going to lift the ball into the area. And the goalkeeper was under a little bit of pressure, but I don't think there's a foul on him. Straight away he's looking to the referee and asking for a bit of protection, but it didn't look a foul to me.
Now Roberts trying to take on Amari Bell, couldn't get past him. Here's Alfie Doughty again, who's making the 100th appearance of his career tonight, the former Stoke man. Through the midfield for Roddick and Panzu. And now out to the Luton Town right-hand side for Cody Drama. 1-0 to Luton. We're at the midway stage of the first half here on Talksport. It's still 0-0 in the Champions League tie tonight, which is live for you right now over on Talksport 2. The Milan derby, still 2-0 into lead it on aggregate. The commentary continues right now over on Talksport 2 with Danny Mills alongside Sam Matterface. And this one, Luton leading Sunderland by a goal to nil in the EFL Championship playoff semi-final. And it's live on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Here's former playoff winning captain Matt Holland.
It's an intimidating atmosphere, isn't it, inside Kenilworth Road? We've seen it already with Sunderland trying to take a throw in. Amad Diallo was getting manhandled by some of the crowd when he was trying to get the ball. But they've got to deal with that, this young side. They dealt with it well at the Stadium of Light, 46,000 backing them. And now it's a slightly different atmosphere. Compact, unique ground at Kenilworth Road. They've got to deal with a different atmosphere tonight.
It's something we were talking about earlier, but it's worth reiterating the point. It is a young team. 7 of the 11 are 22 or younger. Average age of 23 years, 348 days in the starting lineup tonight. They are the youngest team in the division. Carlton Morris with a great turn for Luton in the midfield. Down for Adebayo. A really good challenge coming in to stop the ball, finding Doughty, but Adebayo is quickly back on his feet. Lays it back to halfway. Just actually rolls past Bell. And Ahmad is there to put immediate pressure on him, but the one-time Birmingham defender can get it back to his goalkeeper and haul that ball clear. Long ball played for. Clark going up. It's a really good header from him. Steered back to Nakamba. Panzu lets it run for Doughty. In the yellow boots just in front of us. Roberts read his intentions. Neil can bring it further clear for Sunderland in their change kit of light blue tonight. Ahmad's got it a little bit deeper as he picks it up, and the boos will tell you that he's the man in possession. Back from Ekwa to Hume. Hume now to O'Nien. And Luke O'Nien bringing it forward about 10 yards outside his penalty area before finding Dan Neil again.
There's actually been good rotation between the Sunderland front three, with Ahmad, Gelhardt and Pritchard all rotating between being the most central one, who's coming deeper, making it more difficult for Luton to pick them up.
Here's O'Nien at the back, who's making his 10th playoff appearance for Sunderland today. Now goes out towards Lyndon Gooch. Gooch, a veteran of 4 playoff campaigns as well now in a Black Cat shirt. Free kick given for a foul on Gelhardt. Sunderland looking to take it quickly, and Nakamba stopped that happening. Had the free kick been whacked into him where he was standing, I'm sure he'd have got a yellow card. It wasn't, and he didn't. And it's a free kick which will be taken about 6 yards in Luton territory. Over on the Sunderland left. Played by Gooch, forward for Ekwa. Ekwa's ball into the feet of Gelhardt was easily read. Ahmad then winning it back from the slightly deeper position he's got, and he fires one, hits Lockyer, gets it back, edge of the penalty area. Ahmad trying to turn away. Now wriggles back into a position of strength. Challenge comes in and he lays it off intelligently for Ekwa. From Ekwa to Pritchard. Pritchard back for Gooch. Turn forward for Ekwa again. Dan Neil will pick it up inside the centre circle. Neil just trying to commit Adebayo into making a challenge. Adebayo, one of 3 in the Luton side, wearing a black bandana. It was a white bandana for the away leg, black bandana for the 3 of them tonight. Hume has it again. Hume played forward into the feet of Neil. Hume then put under more pressure. Good Luton press here, and they forced the mistake from Neil, who stumbled, but he didn't actually lose possession because he managed to hit it into a neutral part of the midfield, and Sunderland got there first. And the Black Cats will bring it forward again. There's some intelligent ball work down towards Ahmad, but didn't find him. The idea was right. Doughty will bring it away, and he's all of a sudden covered 50 yards, 60 yards. Now he's running at Hume onto the edge of the penalty area. Good layoff here. Right footed shot comes in from Mpanzu. It's blocked, and then Ahmad slices the ricochet clear and out for a Luton Town throw. 26 gone. Luton 1, Sunderland 0, 2-2 on aggregate on Talksport.
Yeah, just slightly rushed, wasn't it, from Ahmad with his clearance. Looking for a bit of communication. He'd sliced at his clearance, and it's gone out for a Luton throw. Tony Mowbray said his team needs to be brave. They're trying to be brave, they're trying to pass the ball, they're doing the right things, they're doing what he's asking of them.
Doughty will take this throw. Bell showing for him, into feet for the short one, back for Doughty, who's got time now to deliver. High ball inside that penalty area. First contact, well made by Luke O'Nien, and Sunderland will clear, and Pritchard's going to chase after it, gets to halfway. Now can work it through the midfield for Gelhardt. Gelhardt in the centre circle. It just pops it off to his left-hand side for Ekwa. Forward from Jack Clark. And he'll continue his run down the left flank, the former Tottenham man, and win a throw, which will be taken just halfway inside the Luton Town half. Clark himself just drying the ball on his light blue shirt. A shirt that matches the sky of the fading day here in Bedfordshire. Good movement from Gelhardt, getting the ball into feet. Plays it back for Pritchard. Pritchard to Ekwa in the midfield. Now back for Trey Hume. Hume to O'Nien. O'Nien's inside his own half, but just calmly plays it forward, knowing that the press is going to come. Bell covered a lot of ground with the retreating Roberts, but Roberts could divert it down towards Hume. Hume leaves it for Ahmad. Roberts will make a run to his right, but he's worked the ball the other way towards Neil. Neil back for O'Nien, who's in the centre circle, takes a touch, leaves Morris on the deck, and then flicks it out towards the left-hand side for Lyndon Gooch. Gooch playing it forward. Gelhardt out towards Jack Clark. Clark on the Sunderland left goes back for Gooch. Ball into the feet of Pritchard. They're stringing the passes together beautifully here, Sunderland. Not making too much forward progress in doing so at the moment, but now they might be able to with Roberts. Take it on towards the edge of the penalty area. Diallo to his left. Pritchard is in there. Gelhardt trying to make something happen, but Osho is going to be able to bring it away from him. Gabe Osho doing well there. And it's cleared down the line by Cody Drammer. And Osho towards halfway. Morris winning a throw. Luton in a hurry to take it. Rob Edwards just throwing the ball back to Cody Drammer to take. 29 minutes on the clock, and still the most significant moment of the night lies ahead of us, because it's dead level on aggregate here at 2 apiece. Adebayo wrestled to the ground, free kick. That's as good as a corner, really. So about 5 yards in from the corner flag, and the risk of repeating ourselves, and part of the mantra from Tony Mowbray ahead of this game: don't give corners, don't give set pieces away. Luton have scored from the only corner they've had, and now they've got a free kick that is down only about 4 yards from the corner flag, and as good as one.
Yeah, I know, because actually Tony Mowbray, I know that they're a goal behind on the night, but he'll actually be really pleased with the response of his team to going a goal behind, because a young side like they are could easily have crumbled inside this atmosphere, conceded inside 10 minutes. They haven't done, but what they have done now is given Luton another opportunity around the half-hour mark, another set piece. I expect this one to go on top of the goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke O'Nien was with the challenge, he got booked for it. Luton have got 5 inside the penalty area. It's swung towards the penalty spot. Morris with the header, saved by Patterson, diving to his right, clipped back in, half cleared by Neil, out towards the edge of the area from Nakamba. Referee takes evasive action. Ball finds Drummer, back for Nakamba again. Now to Adebayo on the left-hand side of the area, chipped in, Lockyer! And he sent a flick header about a foot wide with the keeper beaten. And at times, Sunderland are hanging on here.
Well, yes, they're hanging on in terms of dealing with balls into the area. By and large, you'll have the numbers. Possession-wise, they'll have had much more of the ball. What is it now? Up to
59%,
nearly 60% of the ball. So they're having more of it. And they've had it in decent areas of the pitch as well. Struggling to get numbers into the opposition box. Struggling to look a goal threat so far, I would suggest. Amad Diallo's looked the most likely to do something special to try and get them a goal. But defending set pieces and corners is a big problem for them.
Yeah, here's Adebayo. They're pushing forward again down the Luton left. Right for the ball clipped inside the box is scuffed away. A flick forward again by Mpanzu and whacked clear by Ekwa. Lockyer's going to be able to mop that up on halfway. Yes, Sunderland have seen more of the ball, and they've had the possession they've had have been in good areas as well, but the difference has been that when Sunderland have had it around the edge of the Luton penalty area, other than that handball shout with the deflection onto the post, they haven't really looked as though they're going to create anything. When the ball is in the other penalty area, it looks as though it might go in at any given moment. That's the difference really between the two sides.
Yeah, it is. Lockyer wasn't far away, was he, with his glancing header? As I say, the one who looks likely to do something is Ahmad. When he picks up the ball, he's got that ability to do something special. He can hold on to it, he can take people on. He obviously scored that worldie in the first leg as well. He's got the ability to do something out of nothing.
Luton have reached one playoff final in their history. It was back in 2012. They lost to York. It was the National League playoff final. York got promoted back into the league. Luton stayed down. They made it up 2 years later. Their last playoff campaign last season, they lost the semi-final to Huddersfield. Lost the League 2 semi-final to Blackpool back in 2017 under Nathan Jones. A couple of earlier playoff semi-final defeats as well. So it's not been a happy avenue for them in terms of trying to get promotion. They've never won promotion through the playoffs. As I mentioned, they've never won a league playoff match. This is the 8th attempt. 3 draws, 4 defeats. And they need to break that duck tonight if they're going to make it to Wembley. They do make it to Wembley. They'll be playing either Middlesbrough or Coventry. We'll find out together who that's going to be. As Roberts rescues the ball played out towards the touchline. It was a close run thing, but Doughty winning it back for Luton. And now it comes down towards Adebayo once more on the Luton town left. Doughty. Left-footed ball inside the penalty area. It's clear. Oh, it ricochets back off Ekwa. 09 so calm under pressure. Takes it for a walk through his own 6-yard box before eventually getting it away. The second leg of that Middlesbrough-Coventry game tomorrow, 8 o'clock on Talksport 2. The final, Saturday, May the 27th. And it's a 4:45 kickoff here on Talksport. This one sees Luton lead Sunderland 1-0.
Yeah, and when you talk about Sunderland to deal with a long ball, they've actually dealt with it from back to front pretty well. They're in a good shape when the ball goes from back to front. They've got the back 5, they've got the 2 midfield players in position to try and deal with anything that just drops that little bit shorter. Where they've struggled is when the ball's gone wide, and they're struggling with crosses into the box and set pieces from wide as well. That's been their biggest area of concern.
Ahmad has it again, as you could tell, finding Pat Roberts. Roberts has got a couple of Champions League goals to his name in his career. Playing it forward, his old club Manchester City in Champions League action tomorrow night, and we will be there. Set up beautifully, that second leg, 1-1 against Real Madrid from the first. And Adrian Durham in the chair for the build-up starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow night on Talksport. Stuart Pearce, part of your commentary team for that here on Talksport. The choice of listening for you of Manchester City against Real Madrid, and also Middlesbrough against Coventry on Talksport 2. Double bill for you tomorrow. We've got the Talksport app. You can easily swipe between one and the other. Ball played through the Luton midfield. Ekwa losing out. Here's Mpanzu. And Mpanzu doing well to maintain possession and flick it down towards the left-hand side for Adebayo, who feints to cross. And then plays it short into the feet of Mpanzu instead. Reverse the return ball, a little reverse down the inside left channel, which is slightly overhit, and Hume can shepherd it over the line and out of play. It's a goal kick which Sunderland will take.
Elijah Adebayo a couple of times now has just drifted out to this left flank, and that actually is better, I think, just staying in the middle, because Doughty has been really a real threat down this left for Luton. He's got forward well as well when the opportunities have arisen. And when the ball was into the area, you want your 2 centre forwards attacking it.
Now Ahmad chased after a ball that was played forward. The whistle had already gone. It is a free kick which will be taken by Luton about 10 yards inside their own half.
Yeah, foul given against Ahmad. He's just leaning into the defender. Didn't look a lot in it, to be honest.
He didn't react though. There are no complaints from him at all. Free kick's going to be taken here from halfway by Alfie Doughty. And the big guns are there, and they tower over every Sunderland outfield player, with the exception of Ekwa, who's the far post dealing with Lockyer. The ball hit into a more central area. Patterson can come out and claim that one very comfortably. And then in doing so will then bowl it down towards the right-hand side for Roberts, who turns into trouble. It just takes a kind of little ricochet from a Sunderland perspective and finds Neal. Cleared then by 09. Headed back through the midfield by Nakamba, and Bell will take it on. Cleverly getting the better of Ahmad. Reverse ball in towards Adebayo. Challenge on him on the edge of the penalty area was clean. He fell inside the box. It would have been a free kick, not a penalty. But it wasn't a foul. Ahmad will bring it forward, play it out to the Sunderland left. Gelhardt's got Jack Clark making a good run down the left, but it wasn't a good ball to find him. And Drama can clear. The But Sunderland pick it up once more, and Lyndon Gooch makes his way forward. Veteran of more than 200 games for the Black Cats, gets to the edge of the penalty area but runs down an orange-shirted cul-de-sac and then gives the free kick away on the edge of that Luton box.
Yeah, it was a great challenge actually, inside his own box. You know, I think it was Patrick Roberts, was it Patrick Roberts who made the challenge, a fabulous challenge. But then when they would turn the ball over and they're trying to attack Luton when they're leaving spaces at the back, they've got to get that first pass right. And I think it's Joe Gelhardt that just was loose in possession. They've got to keep it better when they turn the ball over quickly.
And Sunderland have actually picked up more points away from home in the regular season than they have at home. 39 away, only 30 at home, but they've had a really strange away record. It's against the top 11, they only won once. They beat West Brom. They won 1, drew 4, lost 5. Against the rest, they won 10 out of 13. Here's Adebayo, right-hand side of the penalty area, check back, and fired wide by Carlton Morris.
I thought it was him. For a moment, I thought it was him. Really good play down that right-hand side, and Morris's movement's superb. The way he just checks away and then gets across that near post. It's a difficult chance, but for a moment, from our angle, I thought it was in.
Yep, you and me both. But it remains 1-0 to Luton. Dave Osho's goal on 11 minutes is the difference between the two. 2-2, the aggregate score. And it was about this stage, in fact it was exactly this stage of the first leg that Sunderland found their equaliser, having gone a goal down in 11 minutes. Exactly the same story tonight, a goal down in 11 minutes. It was Ahmad that got the equaliser with a brilliant free kick, just flicked into his path. And in the same way that Salah and Alexander-Arnold combined last night in that Leicester-Liverpool game that you heard live here on Talksport. Taking a leaf out of the Pritchard Ahmad book for the weekend. Throw on the Sunderland left. They're in no great hurry to take it. When they do drop it short at the feet of Gelhardt, he spoons it forward and Lockyer easily clears it. And then as it's headed back out of play by Gelhardt, it's a Luton throw further upfield as far as they're concerned. Taken short though and backwards towards Osho, the goal scorer. Lockyer sending a long right-footed ball forward. The Welsh international finding Carlton Morris, the former Barnsley man, controlling it on his chest. The ball is ball's whipped in from the left-hand touchline, and he uses his body cleverly to beat the challenge of Roberts, and then Neal has fouled him, and it's going to be a free kick to Luton, about 10 yards outside the penalty area. Neal hurting himself in the process. I think the referee's actually given the infringement for the first challenge, which is a pull of the shirt, so the free kick is going to be in a much wider position, actually wider the left-hand edge of the penalty area. But Dan Neal is still down and might need a little bit of treatment.
Yeah, Morris caught him on the stretch actually. It was definitely given for a pull of the shirt. And it's a wider free kick now for Alfie Doughty to deliver the ball into the area. Fortunately, he's back on his feet. Dan Neal looks like he'll be okay, but that looks a sore one.
So this will be a free kick which will be taken about 2 yards to the left-hand edge of the penalty area. It is 12 yards outside the box. It's going to be a left-footed away swinging delivery from Doughty. Bell has stayed back. The keeper obviously has stayed back. Everyone else is forward for it. So they've got 6 in the box and they've got 2 in the D. Doughty swinging it in. Header away comes from Roberts. Drama trying to get a shot in, can't, and Pritchard clears his lines for Sunderland. 4.5 to go to half-time. 1-0 Luton lead. It's 2-2 on aggregate. High ball bouncing once in the penalty area. Hook back in, but Patterson at the near post gratefully catches it and drops to his knees. And now gets back to his feet, but again in no hurry to get the ball upfield. 4 to go to half-time, 1-0 Luton.
No real thought for Luton to try and play to the thirds at all, is there? Ball goes back to the goalkeeper. It's literally back to front. If they don't win the first one, they'll pick up the seconds, as they did on that occasion. I think it was Jordan Clark picked up the second ball, hooked it into an area, straight into the goalkeeper's hands. But it's percentages from Luton's, pure and simple. Ball into the box. Can we get the first ball? If not, we'll get the second.
Adebayo trying to get the first ball this time. And Luton do win the seconds with Ruddock and Panzu. Play forward towards Clark. Clark down the right-hand side of the penalty area, and the cross is blocked. O'Nien gets back to his feet, having conceded the corner. Is almost a wry shake of the head. Luton scored from their first. belatedly, half an hour later, they have a second.
Yeah, it's taken a while to get that second corner. They only had 2 in the first leg. But you hear the noise. It just goes up every time the ball's dead. It's a set piece. They know what's happening. They know the delivery. Can they make the most of it?
So Doughty will take it, and it's going to be another in-swinger. But this time it'll be an in-swinger right into the heart of that 6-yard box. They've got Morris right in front of the goalkeeper. Good header away from Ekwa, brought down by Drama, back out towards Doughty. Can take a touch before delivering a second ball. Look here! 2-0 Luton. Great ball in. It's all about the quality of the service. And Lockyer still forward, threw himself at it, swiveled and turned the forehead. Luton lead it 2-0 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate, and they are less than 50 minutes away from a Wembley playoff final.
Who says lightning doesn't strike twice? 2 corners for Luton, 2 goals. Sunderland are just unable to defend the balls into the box. I said they look more dangerous, Luton, when the ball goes wide and they deliver it into an area and someone attacks it. It's Doughty this time. His left-footed corner was well cleared. He actually picks up the second balls and delivers it into an area, asks someone to attack it. It's curling towards the goalkeeper. Lockyer, about 8 yards out, attacks it best, gets there first and nods it into the back of the net. Advantage Luton.
Tom Lockyer, who scored in his last 2 league appearances, has won a playoff final in his career in the past with Bristol Rovers, and he's just scored the goal that gives Luton the aggregate lead. 2-0 on the night, 3-2 up on aggregate. Now, can Sunderland respond? It's Roberts trying to take the ball on. Ahmad can't find a way past Lockyer, who stands firm, the tousle-haired Welshman. And he clears it. A long ball played for that bounces inside the centre circle and is brought down at the back by Gooch. Well, knowing what's coming and being able to stop it are often 2 completely different things. Luton haven't deviated from the anticipated game plan tonight, but it's been effective against the Sunderland side, who are without any aerial presence at the back because of injury. They just haven't been able to deal with it.
Yeah, just looking at the goal again, he's the only one on the move, Lockyer. He's the only one that's actually on the move inside the box. Everyone else is stood still waiting for the delivery. He comes from that little bit deeper. He has about 4 or 5 yards, and because he's on the run, he gets there first.
Very well taken goal by the Luton skipper. 3 minutes before half-time.
I joked before the game about Tony Mowbray playing himself. Honestly, that was food and drink to Tony Mowbray. Ball into the box, head it clear. It's so unfortunate that they've got so many centre-backs missing through injury.
So you talk about the fact that there was a lack of movement from the Sunderland defenders. So that's inexperience of players playing out of position as opposed to a lack of height.
Well, when the ball comes into the box, someone's got to attack it. Someone has to go and attack it, but actually we were waiting for the delivery. The one person that attacked it was Lockyer. He was the one that was on the run. It's more difficult, I think, for a defender to do that, because you don't want to run out and attack the ball. Running towards goal, as Lockyer was, I think it's much easier and more comfortable for him to do that. But even so, someone has to go and attack the ball and take responsibility.
Well, we're in 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. And it's Luton 2, Sunderland 0. You're listening to Kick-Off live on Talksport. And after us, the Sports Bar. Take your calls, your chance to react to this game and also to the contemporaneous Champions League semi-final second leg, the Milan derby at the San Siro, which is live right now on Talksport 2. And Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy are taking your calls on both of those games and any other business as well on Talksport. 2-0 Luton and 0-0 still in that Champions League semi-final, so 2-0 to Winter on aggregate there.
Well, I mean, it's all to do now for Sunderland. They're capable. They've been away from home back end of the season, gone to Norwich, Burnley, West Brom, not got beaten. They're going to do something special though to get themselves back into this one.
Delhart feeding Jack Clark out towards the left flank for Pritchard. Back for Jack Clark again. Clark on the corner of the penalty area. Pritchard plays it back. Clark says he was going to be offside, but Gooch can come onto it. Ahmad trying his luck, scooped it into the ground, and it bounces over the top right-hand corner. Horvath just scrambling for a moment, but the loop on the ball after the bounce meant that he didn't have a save to make, and the ball ends up in the Kenilworth stand away to our right-hand side. And deep in first-half stoppage time, Luton are 3-2 up on aggregate, and the fans are believing. The fans really sense that this is their time.
Yeah, they do now. It's absolutely rocking. Absolutely rocking. Looking down just in front of us, I mean, there's about 12 rows between us and the pitch, and every single one of them's on their feet cheering their side off the pitch as the half-time whistle goes.
A standing ovation, 2 corners, 2 goals. A predictable story potentially for Luton Town, but an effective one. Gabe Osho with the first on 11 minutes, tapping in after a scramble. The second scored by Tom Lockyer 2 minutes before half-time, heading in a delicious cross from Doughty. Sunderland thought they should have had a penalty after a alleged handball inside the penalty area early on by Amari Bell. It wasn't given. Luton lead 2-0 and 3-2 on aggregate. Adrian, thank you very much indeed. So the 2 sets of players out for the second half. Luton 45 minutes away from making it through to Wembley to take on either Middlesbrough or Coventry. But they are the side that got more points than anybody else in the Championship this season from winning positions. 27 in all. Took the lead in 29 games, 11 of them they got pegged back or worse. But Sunderland, the bottom line is, have to win this second half, even to take this into extra time. 2-0 to Luton, and we're back underway. Sunderland in sky blue, and they're kicking from right to left, and they're attacking the end of the ground that houses the travelling weir side, is the Oak Road end of the ground away to our left-hand side. No changes in personnel. I'll run through the 2 teams for you in a moment. Oh, it's a terrible mistake from Patterson. He's rolled it in. Jordan Clark has missed an open goal, and it should be 3-0 to Luton 25 seconds into the second half, and they're in a position of complete control, Luton, but you just wonder how significant a moment that could prove to be. Patterson, alive to the fact he was going to get pressed, side-footed it outside the penalty area. Clark ran onto it. He had all the time in the world to take a couple of touches, fire it towards goal, but he went first time and he put it way wide.
Just contrast the 2 teams and their kickoffs. Luton take kickoff, play it back to the goalkeeper, launch it forward, launch it into the opposition half. Sunderland try and play. Within 30 seconds, the goalkeeper gives the ball away. He's racing across his goal, and actually I've got a bit of sympathy for Jordan Clark because the goalkeeper was racing across quickly, so it made the target a little bit smaller, but even so, he has to ask a question of the goalkeeper. He has to hit the target. Within 30 seconds, it could have been 3.
That's the former Ireland international Matt Holland, captain of a side that won these Championship playoffs back in the day. Now Sunderland, after that let-off, have the first corner of the second half. Pat Roberts will take it over on the Sunderland right-hand side. O'Nien is forward. Jordan Clark stands on the edge of the penalty area. He's unmarked. Osho is watching the movement of Hume. The corner is worked short. Inside the penalty area, still they go. Ahmad trying to trick his way through, and he gets another corner out of it.
Well, again, having to be inventive from set pieces. Sunderland can't just launch into the box. They know that Luton more than likely are going to win the first header and clear the danger. So doing something different, playing the short one.
Will Roberts take a more direct route this time? He does. A little flick header from Ahmad, and it almost hits the scoreboard above the goal at that end of the ground, and a play for a goal kick. So Luton, Horvath in goal, Osho, Lockyer and Bell, Drama, Clark, Nakamba, Rodikin-Panzu and Doughty, Morris and Adebayo up front. Sunderland, Patterson in goal, Hume, O'Nien and Gooch, Roberts, Ekwa, Neal and Clark, Ahmad and Pritchard and Gelhardt. The benches, nobody's been on yet. Potts, Berry, Burke, Campbell, Onyedinma, Taylor and Shea. As Drama bringing it forward for Luton, right-hand side of the penalty area. It hits 09 in the face. It's still hooked back in. Overhead kick attempt from Adebayo. Didn't get a hold of it at all. And it's slammed clear by the Sunderland backliner by Trey Hume. The Sunderland bench, Huggins, Bar, Lehaji, Mishu, Alais, Anderson and Bass. Carlton Morris. 09's got his hands all over the back of his shirt. Referee says play on. And Apanzu couldn't turn inside the box. It's cleared by Pritchard. And towards the Sunderland right-hand side. Always had the feel of a game in which the first goal was likely to be crucial. The next goal clearly is going to be crucial. If Luton score it, can't put up a case for Sunderland fighting back. If Sunderland score it, it really opens up again. Jack Clark with a shot here, which is on target, and there haven't been too many of those from Sunderland, but it was a low skidder. Horvath can shuffle across his line, get his hands down, make a comfortable save, and with 4 minutes into the second half on Talksport, 2-0 on the night, and 3-2 Luton on aggregate.
What a lively start to the second half. Both sides going at it 100 miles an hour. Wasn't the greatest effort from Jack Clark, bobbled into the goalkeeper's hands, but it's a save to make, and the first one he's had to make all night.
Well defended by 09, who was in there strongly. And just stopped Cody Drama getting his foot to the ball. Goes out of play for a goal kick to Sunderland. In 36 years, only 11 teams have failed to reach the Championship playoff final when they've won the first leg. The last was a game that you and I saw together, Bournemouth against Brentford back in 2021, where Bournemouth won the first leg and then got caught cold by Brentford Storm in the second leg of the GTAC. 2 years on, Sunderland going the same way. Luton picking it up in the midfield. Drama's got it. And he has an opportunity to try and run at Lyndon Gooch. He chops it back onto his right foot. Osho will fire it in. It's headed away. And it comes down towards Ahmad. Ahmad trying to turn it forward. Osho covered a huge amount of ground very quickly to come back and win that back. And then Lockyer, the scorer of the second goal, pumps a high, long diagonal forward. Sunderland repel that from the edge of their penalty area. And now we'll be able to drift forward down the right-hand side with Pat Roberts. Roberts through the midfield for Dan Neal. Neal's got Gelhardt ahead of him. He's got Jack Clark as well. It's into the feet of Gelhardt. Good return ball towards Neal. Well read by Jordan Clark. Neal will try and take it on a touch, but Lockyer knocks it away. Equa turns in the midfield, nods it down for Roberts. Back it goes from him to 09. Hume. And now play back out towards Pat Roberts again. The former Manchester City and Celtic man in possession. And towards Ahmad. Ahmad closed down very quickly. It was well defended that by Doughty. Gets it away and forces Sunderland to regroup inside their own half now.
Yeah, they've won a lot of second balls at the start of the second half. Luton in the middle of the pitch. Been really quick to snap at Sunderland in the middle. And they've won it again.
Paddy Rudder-Kampanzu, who's making his 366th appearance for Luton tonight. That's just a little bit too much on that. Carlton Morris was the target. It's watched over the line and out of play for a goal kick, which Sunderland will take. 2-0 down on the night, 3-2 down on aggregate. So winning the first leg at the weekend. Winners of this take on the winners of Middlesbrough Coventry. Second leg of that one is live tomorrow. And a reminder, it's on Talksport 2 tomorrow night. The build-up starting at 7 ahead of Manchester City against Real Madrid. And then we've got the two games live. Man City, Real Madrid on Talksport tomorrow, kicking off at 8. Middlesbrough Coventry kicking off at 8 on Talksport 2 tomorrow evening. And we've got 3 games for you on Thursday, details of which I'll give you in a few minutes' time. There's another opportunity for Roberts to bring it forward down to Sunderland. Right, it's quite scrappy. There's a feisty edge to it as well. Ball never staying in play for long as both sides just try and make ground, a series of drives really to make headway into opposition territory. But there's a frenetic pace about it.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of tackles flying in, and the referee has been really lenient. He's let a lot go, Simon Hooper. The tackles are flying in, particularly in midfield, but he's let a lot go.
Here's the Sunderland captain, Lyndon Gooch. Gooch, who's also in his 4th playoff campaign with Sunderland in the last 5 seasons. He's won 5 of his 8 playoff games as a Black Cat. 09, turned down towards Gooch again. And the American international is not too far short of 250 games for the club. Gets to the byline, gets his left-footed cross in. Just in time, Gelhardt going up for it, beaten in the air. Loose ball picked up edge of the penalty area by Dan Neal. Pritchard tried to play it back to him, but he couldn't get into a shooting position. Jordan Clark plays it away, runs into Ekwa, no foul. Ball goes all the way through for Patterson, and he's very quickly tapped it back into Luton territory for Clark. Jack Clark trying to find a way through. Jordan Clark stuck out a foot. Carlton Morris was going shoulder to shoulder between the pair of them. They fouled him, and it's a free kick, which will be taken by Sunderland 15 yards outside the Luton box.
Just listen to the crowd. You can just sense this is a really important passage of play. Carlton Morris is having to do a bit of defensive work as well. It was almost a 4-5-1 there for 5-4-1, should I say, but he's dropping back into midfield and doing the defensive work. He just pulled the shirt of the Sunderland man. It was definitely a foul, but they don't throw it in the box, they play it short. They're trying to play around the back, trying to get the ball into the feet of Pritchard and Ahmad.
Ekwa playing it forward. Gets a second bite of the cherry as it becomes a 50-50 in the midfield. Doughty turns that forward. Knight falling here in Bedfordshire now. Sunderland having to make sure the lights don't go out on their hopes of a return to the Premier League. Patterson inside his own penalty area. They played right through the box in the face of the press. Gooch turning, trying to get away from Drama, who's I beg your pardon, has tackled him cleanly, then whips the crowd up as he tried to get into a position to drive it inside the penalty area. That's blocked and goes out of play for a Luton throw. 2-0 to Rob Edwards' man.
Well, that sort of energy and commitment is exactly what the crowd feed off.
Edwards hoping for back-to-back promotions, having won League 2 with Forest Green last year, turning the Watford job, albeit for no longer than any other Watford manager, so he was quickly here. And Watford's loss has been Luton's gain. Now Doughty has in fact gone out of play. Away to our right-hand side, it's the other side of the corner flag, so it is a corner. It's their third of the game, they've scored from their first two. In comes this one, and it's flicked to the near post by Jordan Clark and headed away almost off the line. Out of play for another corner.
What a chance, what a chance. Everyone expecting that ball deep where the Luton big men are waiting for it, but Clark, who's 5'10" himself, not the biggest, free at the near post, should have done better.
So Doughty will take this one as well. And it's swung in deeper, Patterson going up for it, and it's headed past him over the bar and out of play for a goal kick. And Sunderland not defending either of those corners with a great degree of conviction, but neither ended up in the net, and that's a start for them.
No, they didn't win either. The first balls into the area. Jordan Clark won the first header, a little flick, should have done better. And the second one, I think it was Osho who headed over the top of the bar. But two balls into the area where Luton win first contact on both.
Sunderland working out from the back. Short, as is their way. 09 trying to play it through the midfield. They get it back. The Black Cats having temporarily lost it. Gooch finding Ahmad. Ahmad flicked it with his right foot into his left knee. Amari Bell wins it back. He's then just given a shove to the ground. No foul though by Gelhardt. And Gelhardt in possession is able to bring it forward. Tries to ride the first challenge. That's very unorthodox defending from Nakamba. He was almost lying on the deck, and in doing so raised his top leg as he was lying on his side and made the tackle with that, and then got back to his feet to bring it away. Sunderland have it again. Doughty wins it back. Still really scrappy and frenetic. Goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken by Trey Hume for Sunderland. 56 gone, 2-0 Luton.
Oh, it is hustle and bustle, isn't it, at the start of the second half. There's no real pattern to the game. Pressure in midfield from both sides. You should see the energy from the crowd, but the energy from the benches as well, particularly the Luton bench. Every time there's a tackle, they're up, they're cheering, they're right behind their side trying to fire the crowd up even more, as if they need it.
Sunderland are making a change. Alex Pritchard, who was a fitness doubt coming into this, is coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Aji Alice, the one-time West Ham player. He's missed the last 10 weeks with a thigh injury. They patched him up sufficiently to try and get half an hour out of him tonight, and so they now do have an orthodox centre-half on the field.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll do then, whether they decide to switch the formation. Interesting to see.
It doesn't look like it to start with. That he's playing on the left of three centre-halves. That's how they're working things at the moment, and they'll move Gooch further forward to accommodate that. They've got the option of moving Gooch out to sort of more right wing back position. Adebayo going down inside the penalty area, but it was a tumble. No appeals from him. It should be a penalty, although half of the Kenilworth stand went up for it. They could go to a back four with Elise as an orthodox left back, which would seem a little bit counterintuitive, really, bearing in mind he's centre half with a bit of height. Here's Ahmad bringing it forward and then giving it away. One back in the midfield effectively by Doughty for Luton. Osho down for Cody Drama towards halfway. Little right-footed ball chipped forward and bounces on the edge of the Sunderland penalty area straight into the hands of Patterson.
It does look like it's a four. Lyndon Gooch at right back, Elise at left back. That's what it looks like. It looks like Clark now and Patrick Roberts pushing further up. As I said at half-time, I'd be surprised if Tony Moe didn't go back to a back four. It feels like he prefers that system.
Oh, Jack Clark with a shot takes the deflection. The deflection wrong-footed the goalkeeper, but took all the sting out of the shot. So all that had the opportunity just to get his balance back and move back across the face of his 6-yard box to make the save.
Yeah, continual rotation. Looks like Ahmad's now on the right-hand side. Patrick Roberts has come more centrally ahead of Dan Neal and Ekwa.
So they've got Gooch at right back, and they've got Hume at centre half alongside 09. They've got Elise at left back, and then they've got Neal and Ekwa sitting in the midfield. Gelhardt almost as a false line with Robertson behind him, and Clark on the left and Ahmad on the right. And here is Jack Clark. Back towards 09. Ekwa can turn. Showed too much of that to Nakamba. Run back by Mpanzu. Good ball forward. Adebayo. Right hand side of the penalty area. He's in and just delayed. And Elise came back, made the tackle and smuggled it out for a corner.
Well, the change of shape has given them an immediate problem. Left more space on the transition. And Adebayo ran into that space. Elise was caught out of position. Did brilliantly actually to get back and make the challenge. A clean challenge. He won the ball. Simon Hooper immediately pointing to the ball to say that's what he won, and he did. Really good tackle, but there was a lot of space for Adebayo to run to. He just delayed his effort on goal.
He scored at Sunderland on Saturday. It was his first in 11. He's scored 10 goals this season, and not nearly as prolific as he was last season. But Luton have another corner. Scored from the first two, caused problems from the two they've had in this half so far. And it's going to be another left-footed in-swinger from Doughty, headed away at the near post. Really good defensive header coming in from Roberts, and steers it past his own far post and out of play for another corner.
Anthony Patterson, the goalkeeper, scrambling across his goal as well. Actually went into the side net and inside the goal before Roberts eventually cleared.
And this corner will be taken by Jordan Clark in front of that clock. If you've ever been to Kenilworth Road, you'll know what I mean. It's just a big round clock over on the far side, which we might be seeing the last of today. You never know. In comes the latest corner. Osho is in there, headed back down and whacked away right-footed from the edge of the penalty area. Amari Bell's got it inside the centre circle. Forward from him. So we might be seeing the last of it, because if they do get promoted through these playoffs, as the ball is swung in here and Patterson claims it, and that stand on the far side's coming down, and they're going to have to rebuild it. So will the clock go? That's, I think, the biggest question in the grand scheme of tonight, but certainly one that some might be thinking about. The ball is over on the right hand side with Gelhardt. Now Ekwa, and Ekwa goes back for 09. 2-0 to Luton. A goal for Sunderland, and they're back level on aggregate, and in the position potentially to take the game to extra time. 09 gets it through the legs of Adebayo out towards the right hand touchline. Another Sunderland change might be made in a moment as the Black Cats try and bring it forward here. Good strong attacking play. It's a really good whistling run from Roberts, and goes out of play for a goal kick, because the run much better than the shot that followed it. He come in off that right flank and he a good 30-40 yards. He got himself into a shooting position, maybe slightly off balance when he struck it, and he just tamely drifted wide.
Sunderland have to believe there's at least half an hour left in this game for them to try and find a goal. But from what we've seen, it's going to take something special, some individual brilliance. Brilliant run from Patrick Roberts. He drove past 3 or 4 Luton challenges before dragging his shot wide. But they've really struggled to create too much from open play. So it's going to take something very special to try and get them the goal that they need.
Well, I said that tomorrow it's Manchester City against Real Madrid, and the winners of this game will find out their Wembley opponents, as well as Middlesbrough take on Coventry, the other Championship playoff semi-final second leg. Thursday, Newcastle can move within 3 points of a return to the Champions League. Brighton can move within 3 points of a top 6 finish. They play each other to 7:30 kick-off, and it's live and exclusive to Talksport. Also Thursday, West Ham aim for their first European final in 47 years, defending a 2-1 first leg lead in the Netherlands against AZ Alkmaar, and that's an 8 o'clock kick-off on Talksport 2. And Sheffield Wednesday will try and make playoff history, overturning a 4-goal deficit when they take on Peterborough. 8 o'clock on the Talksport app on Thursday night. All 3 games covered for you. Luton worked the ball forward. There's a high one that's drifted straight out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken away to our right-hand side. The second change made by Sunderland sees Mishu come on for Joe Gelhardt.
Yeah, so what does that do? How does that affect the team? It looks like it's just a straight swap.
Well, Mishu is central midfielder by trade, but he can play as a false 9.
Yeah, false 9, that's what it looks like, doesn't it? It looks like he and Ahmad are going to play as 2 false 9s.
And 8 appearances for PSG's first team. Mishu, who's on loan from the Paris club. He scored against Sheffield United, but that remains his only goal so far. He dropped short, wanted the ball in defeat there. He's not past him. The average age of this team going down all the time. With Mishu coming on, Pritchard going off. It's down much nearer 23 than 24 now. 20 minutes gone in the second half. And Tony Mowbray's youngsters have 25 minutes to score the goal that takes us to extra time, or it will be Luton that will be going to Wembley. High ball play forward. Sunderland try and get it out. Jack Clark flicking it down. Brought down in the midfield here by Dan Neil. A back for Jack Clark. Hasn't been as effective in this game as many previous others so far. Strong challenge comes in from 09. No foul. Jack Clark can bring it away. Clark trying to emerge between 2 Luton players, can't do so. And Panzu winning it back, trying to keep his balance in the midfield. He's fouled. And it's a free kick to Luton, 25 yards outside the Sunderland penalty area.
They just won more than 50-50s, Luton. And the ball's dropped in midfield. They've won the majority of them. Having said that, I've been impressed with Dan Neil at the heart of midfield. As Sunderland, he's shown good composure when on the ball. And he looks like he'll take it in tight areas. He's not rushed, he's not fazed by the atmosphere.
2-0 it remains, and 0-0 it remains, incidentally, in the Milan derby in the Champions League tonight. So into a 2-goal aggregate lead with about 20 minutes to go there. In comes the free kick from Jordan Clark. And it's headed away by Onana inside his own penalty area, and an opportunity for Sunderland to try and bring it clear, but couldn't get it too far. And players from both sides almost ending up in the Luton dugout over on the far side. Play will resume with a throw that Alfie Doughty's going to take. Doughty with the throw. Back to him from Paddy Ruddock. And then a long ball over the top from Lockyer. Adebayo trying to spin his man. Fouled him. Oh, it's a free kick that's been won by Gooch. He's just picked up a bang to the rib cage in the process. He's okay. He's going to be able to continue back on his feet, hobbling, but back on his feet without the need for treatment, and Sunderland in a hurry to get on with things.
Yeah, they are. It was Ekwa who just dragged him up, said, come on, time's running out, we've got to get on with it.
Fall from Neil. Alice at left back. Thought he wanted to throw, he hasn't. And he's very angry, just keeps his emotions in check. And drops the ball on the touchline for a throw that Gabe Osho is going to take. And Osho's appearance in a playoff final will be the 100th game of his career if Luton make it. He's thrown it forward now at the right-hand touchline. Brought back down at the back by Elise for Sunderland. Gooch having to chest it down, and he did chest it down rather than use his arm. Just wanted a little bit too much time as Rodigan Panzu put him under pressure. And the ball is cleared, it goes out of play for another throw, and this one will be taken by Elise on the Sunderland left-hand side. We're midway through the second half, 2-0 Luton.
There's real appreciation from the Luton supporters for the effort of their side. As I said, every time the ball's loose, you feel as though it's a Luton shirt that's going to win it. And it was Doughty this time closing down a couple of times to win a big challenge inside Sunderland's half.
Now, mistake there by Osho, but not with a capital M, as he just miscontrolled a ball that was played through. And he had two Sunderland players converging on him. He was able to rectify matters quickly enough, get it back to his goalkeeper. Ball goes out of play for a Sunderland throw deep in their right back position, and Lockyer waves everybody forward and tells them to push them in and try and condense play down in that Sunderland right back area and stop them being able to get out. And Paddy Rodigan Panzu and Afi Doty have gone across to do exactly that. Still, they haven't taken the throw because there are no immediate options for Gooch here. Now he just drops it short of the feet of Roberts. It goes back to Gooch, it's deflected on its way out. Ekwa heads it away, not effectively on the edge of his own penalty area. And Luton will be able to pick it up again. Doughty cleverly working it down towards the dead ball line. Rodigan Panzu's there, back for Doughty again. Doughty's got support behind him in the form of Amari Bell. Bell rolling the studs of his left boot over the top of the ball and turns and goes back for Lockyer. Lockyer thought about going to Osho. He could see that the pressure was coming, so he's gone back for his goalkeeper instead, and Ethan Horvath smacks it forward long again. Look at the Carlton Morris, who will get there on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Gooch dispossesses him and then does well to flick it off Morris and out of play for Sunderland.
So strong, Carlton Morris. Just rolls Lyndon Gooch so easily. And as far as Luton are concerned, the ball's in the right area of the pitch. It's in Sunderland's own final third, and it's been there for quite some time.
Carlton Morris, a player who has scored a winning goal in a playoff semi-final second leg in the past. It was back in his Shrewsbury days. A few on the Luton side have playoff experience. Most of the Sunderland team do, of course, as well. There's much more resemblance to the Sunderland side that played in the playoffs last season to Luton side playing in the Luton side that played in the playoffs last year 12 months ago. It's been a side that's been broadly rebuilt in the last 12 months here. Crowd here tonight, incidentally, at the Kenny is 10,013, with just over 1,000 of those, 1,036 coming from Sunderland. Here's Neil playing it forward. Mishu couldn't get it into his stride, and it's going to be cleared easily enough down towards Sunderland right for Cody Drammer, and then will be knocked away from the edge of his own penalty area by Osho. Headed down through the midfield. Sunderland win it back. Ekwa. Adebayo is still down. And still down. It's up to Sunderland to play on, or the referee to stop it. Mishu down towards Elise. Adebayo is now back on his feet. It's okay. Elise back for Mishu. Neil rolling it through the centre circle. More action on the Sunderland bench over on the far touchline, and I think there'll be further shuffling of the pack from Tony Mowbray and Mark Venus in a moment. Roberts has got it. He's trying to bulldoze his way through single-handedly again. We've seen him try that on a couple of occasions. Didn't come off for him. Luton will break quickly. It's Morris on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Checks back inside. Can't find a teammate though. Ekwa sorted that, did really well. And then the two of them with the ball between the feet of Morris and just get involved. Morris got back to his feet, still in possession, which was almost a master stroke. He tries to win a corner, ends up conceding the throw. It's well defended by Pierre.
Yeah, it was well defended. Sunderland just had a period of possession, but everything's in front of Luton. They've not once tested them in behind. Everybody wants to come to feet, everybody wants the ball to feet. Nobody wants to spin in behind that Luton defence and use their pace to do so.
Well, they're going to get themselves back into the game, create something. I mean, this second half, they've had one shot on target, Sunderland. Luton haven't had any, but Luton don't need any. That's the bottom line. And Sunderland in the game as a whole have had two shots on target. Both have had 10 attempts. Ball cleared from away to our left-hand side by Horvath as Inter with Lautaro Martinez make it 1-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. They're going through to the Champions League final. They'll take on either Manchester City or Real Madrid, and we'll find out tomorrow who it's going to be, live from the Etihad here on Talksport. 7 o'clock we're on air for an 8 o'clock kickoff. As you release to Dan Neil in the midfield for Sunderland. To his right hand side for Ekwa. Into the feet of Mishu, straight back. They're stringing the passes together and they're making slow, steady progress, but still everything, as Matt was saying, is in front of that Luton back line. Easy to defend. Now they'll try and get in between the lines, past Nakamba, but he's recovered. Neil goes out to the right for Gooch. Gooch to Pat Roberts. Roberts level the edge of the Luton penalty area. Flicks it back for Gooch again. Ahmad will take over, and Luton have done well to keep him pretty quiet tonight. Ahmad going back for Dan Neil. It's going to take something a little bit spectacular, you feel, for Sunderland to get themselves back into this game. Trailing 2-0, 16 minutes to go. As the ball went back for Trey Hume there, he was receiving it and then directing traffic, trying to persuade players to make runs for him upfield. None was forthcoming. Luton win it back. Hume gets it back for Sunderland within 2-3 seconds, and Neil has it again. Play down to his left. Alice down towards Jack Clark. Clark with an opportunity to try and take on Cody Drama. Checks back, getting it onto his right foot, can find the man. Mishu turning away, giving it away, and then winning it back from Carlton Morris, who is surveying his options. Neil then goes back for 09. This is still inside Luton territory with Sunderland trailing 2-0. Dan Neil back for Ekwa. It's going to be a double change for Sunderland in a moment in the next break in play. Neil down towards Jack Clark. Clark winning a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Drama committed himself, and it's a free kick dead level with the edge of the box and midway between the left-hand touchline and the left-hand side of the penalty area.
Well, it's good football from Sunderland. Good period of possession, easy on the eye, but lacking threat. Luton, everybody behind the ball, everybody in good shape, almost inviting Sunderland to deliver the ball into the box.
Sunderland very neat and tidy from set pieces. Remember, they scored what turned out to be the winning goal on the day at the weekend with a clever movement from Hume, who got in between Morris and Osho to head in. Past two much taller men. Jack Clark standing over this, right-footed, low delivery that was poor, hit the nearest Luton player. I think it was Nakamba, maybe Drama, that it came off. Goes back out towards the right. Ahmad out towards Roberts. Roberts checking back for Ahmad again. Ahmad taking it on, trying to glide inside the area, fell over, and then Carlton Morris is going to be able to get it away, and in getting it away just hammers it 60 yards upfield. But Luton, led by Lockyer, will be able to push out from the back and condense play in midfield to the extent of Nakamba leading the press. When Hume gets the ball, Hume's forced to go all the way back for his goalkeeper again, and Luton have got out towards halfway.
Yeah, but we're at a point in the game now when actually Luton are sitting back. They know that this scoreline gets them to Wembley. 14 minutes of normal time left. They're happy with the result. They're happy with the scoreline, should I say. And they're just getting everybody now goal side of the ball.
Well, the defensive record is very good, as mentioned in the first half, the second best in the division. Neil picking up the loose ball around the edge of the penalty area, goes wide towards Pat Roberts again. Roberts driving onto his left foot and fires it high and wide into the popular Luton fans away in that corner of the Oak Road stand away to our left. So, a double change is going to be made. Just waiting for the numbers to come up on the far side. Who's coming off? Lyndon Gooch is the first man off, so Huggins will come on to replace him, and Barr is also going to be coming on. So Niall Huggins, who came off the bench on Saturday for his first appearance since January, he will come on at full-back, and Abdullah Barr, the Frenchman, whose only goal was the winner at Norwich back in March, is going to come on, and he's replacing Dan Neil, I think. So that's the double change being made by Sunderland with 13 minutes for it to take effect.
Yeah, almost last roll of the dice, isn't it, for Tony Mowbray? His side have scored a lot of goals in the last 15 minutes of matches this season. They're a side that continue to go right to the end, and that's got to be the belief and the hope that his side can find something. Roberts with the effort over the top. Again, coming in off that right-hand side and looking for the spectacular.
Well, you said almost the last roll. It is the last in terms of the substitutions, because it's changes 3 and 4, but it's the third juncture at which they've made changes, so that's it. Unless they can get it to extra time, they can't bring anybody else off the bench unless there's a concussion problem. Carlton Morris has the ball level with the edge of the Sunderland penalty area, and he turns, he motions to cross. Barr was deceived by that. It's headed on by Jordan Clark inside the box. Ekwa got a left foot to it, was able to flick it away. Helped on down the left by Jack Clark. Jarman's running back though for Luton, and then nods it down past Nakamba, which wasn't his intention. Mishu trying to win it back. Lockyer leaving it in the end for Doughty, who whacks it back to his goalkeeper, and Luton again able to regroup. 11 minutes to go. 11 minutes plus stoppage time for Sunderland to find a goal. If they don't, then Luton will be through 3-2 on aggregate here on Talksport. Here's Matt Holland.
There's a lot of popular players amongst the Luton supporters, and Carlton Morris one of them, but Alfie Doughty, I think, has had the biggest praise this evening from the supporters. He's done a lot of good things this evening.
Here's Ahmad inside the penalty area. Mishu let it run. He thought that Elise was closer in behind him. Horvat is able to pounce on the loose ball just on the edge of the penalty area and make a comfortable stop. We're listening to Luton against Sunderland in the EFL Championship Playoff semi-final live on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And tomorrow, Laura Woods and Rangers legend Ali McCoy's the back. I know McCoy's desperately hoping that Sunderland would be able to get the job done tonight. And they'll be looking back at this evening and looking ahead to Manchester City's Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid. And Gabi Agbolahor as well joining them from 8. And if you're fancying something different on your morning commute, you can check out the Chris Evans Breakfast Show weekdays from 6:30 a.m. on Virgin Radio, which you can listen to on DAB or by downloading the app. We've got 10 minutes to go. And it's another Luton corner. And a goal from it, and they'll be at Wembley.
Yeah. One more goal for Luton, that's job done. They're almost there. They can sense it, they can smell it, but they're not over the line just yet.
Corner is taken short into the feet of Alfie Doughty, who takes it on inside the penalty area, rolling it back for Adebayo, and he's on the turn, fired it over the bar.
That's a good chance. Sunderland switching off, not expecting the short one, just expecting Luton to bomb it into the box, but they do take the short one. And again, Alfie Doughty, really clever, picks out Adebayo brilliantly, about 12 yards out. Yes, slightly behind him, but really should be hitting the target.
Now here's Barr. It's a lovely turn by Abdullah Barr in the midfield, getting round the press. But then Elise had to throw himself into a challenge. He did win it cleanly, fired the ball forward, it hit Barr, he couldn't control it, and Carlton Morris wins it back, forward from him to Adebayo. Adebayo had the chance to play to his right-hand side for Ruddock and Penzu, couldn't, and Luton will get it away. It's 2-0 Luton, 9 to go, 3-2 to Luton on aggregate over the two legs. It's Cody Drama. Hens another high ball, sky towards the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Flick on from Hume is fielded by Patterson before it goes over the line and out of play for a corner. Ekwa down for Elise. Elise to the halfway line for Jack Clark. Clark retraces his steps back inside his own half, goes forward towards Barr. Luton at a stage of the game where the fans are singing them home now. Forward into the feet of Mishu. Mishu inside the centre circle. One Sunderland goal and the whole complexion of the night changes. Not irrevocably, it would take it to extra time, but they need a goal, Sunderland. Jordan Clark forward out towards the Luton left-hand side for Amari Bell. Bell taking down towards the corner flag, didn't get too far. Strong challenge comes in on him. Hume conceding the throw. What's left in the tank for these players? It's been a long season. 46 championship matches, a playoff semi-final, first leg, 82 minutes of a second leg. And everything rests on this last 8 minutes. So Jordan Clark is coming off here for Luton. who are belatedly making their first change. And it is Campbell that comes on. We're expecting actually that might be a change that they were going to make to the starting lineup tonight. Alan Campbell, the one-time Scottish international, who played in the Scottish Cup final in his Motherwell days. But he has come on. And there's just a straight swap in the midfield. Campbell for Clark. 7 to go. 2-0 Luton. Ball out of play for a throw, taken down towards the corner flag. Adebayo. There's a couple of players snapping at his heels. He wins another throw. That'll do nicely from a Luton perspective. They just want to keep the ball down there under control in an area where Sunderland can't hurt them. But with Talksport, 2-0 lead, seemed largely comfortable. Osho on 11, Lockyer on 43, both from corners. Carlton Morris back inside the penalty area. Sunderland can bring it away again. And find a little bit of space in the midfield for Mishu. Mishu travelling in possession. Oh, did brilliantly. Wrote 3 challenges. Got away from Campbell. Able to feed it forward. Ahmad making his way forward. Down towards Barr. Bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. Great turn from him. Gets the better of Drama. Flashes it in. Half cleared. Out towards Ekwa. Neither he nor Nakamba reacted to where the ball was going to bounce in the midfield. It was Roddy Compensa, I beg your pardon. And neither reacted. And that allowed Ekwa the opportunity to recycle it and win it back. Sunderland bring it forward again, and the 1,000 supporters at that end of the ground will them on. Alice into the feet of Clark. Clark going down, no foul. Back on his feet to find Alice. Mishu trying to take it on. Clark can take it on. Can't find a way past Drama. Just heads down, running at defenders at times from Sunderland with no particular guile about it. Just trying to bulldoze their way through inside the penalty area. And he goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Sunderland left with 6 to go.
But a little glimpse there that it's not over. But they do still carry some sort of threat, Sunderland, on the counter. That quick break, the substitutions, that fresh energy. There is still hope.
Elise takes the throw into the feet of Mishu. Tried to pass it back to him and played it behind him. And it goes out of play for a Luton throw, which Ekwa retrieves the ball and gives it to Barr to hand to Drama so that it doesn't end up in the crowd to see more seconds wasted. But we are into the final 5 minutes now of normal time. Barr hooking the ball forward. Jack Clark will chase it. Lockyer heads it away. Drama heads it further forward. Then the boot was raised unfairly by Mishu, and Campbell's won a free kick. Lockyer just down, being held back to his feet, touch of cramp maybe, but he's the man that has scored the goal that will take them to Wembley. As things stand right now, Sunderland have only lost one of the last 14 meetings with Luton. Paul Furlong scored twice in the League Cup tie here back in 2007. Black Cats' last league win here, won them the championship title under Roy Keane. At the moment, they just need one goal, a 2-1 defeat here in 90 minutes. But the situation they're in now would be a glorious scoreline for them. Doughty plays it across the edge of the 6-yard box for Luton, but no one can get on the end of it. Goes out of play for a goal kick, which Patterson will take. By the time he spotted it down, there'll be only 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, just looking around the ground now, with time running out, security, we're all around the perimeter of the pitch, sensing that we're close, really close. We know we're close. Luton know they're close to a Wembley final.
There have been a couple of requests on the tannoy, just for nobody to encroach onto the pitch at the end of the game. Now I'll have a little guess with you, that might not be heeded. Ahmad trying to bring the ball forward again. Barr is in space on the Sunderland left if they can switch it. Mishu playing it down towards Elise. Barr has it now. Chance for him to run at Cody Drama. Cuts inside, 25 yards outside the penalty area. Sets up Clark. Clark can't shoot. Ahmad might be able to. Takes it on inside the box. Cleared though by Doughty. It's had an outstanding game tonight, Alfie Doughty.
Yeah, he has. I mean, Sunderland are pushing, as you'd expect, late on. The season rests on this game. But even up to this point now, 87 minutes into the game, they've had one shot on target. One shot, a dribbled effort from Jack Clark into the hands of Fourth half.
The season rests on the next 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time. It's going to be a huge amount added on, certainly no more than 4, and it might only be 3. Ball out for a throw which will be taken on that Sunderland right-hand side. Morris back defending. Looked down the Sunderland right, but they couldn't find Huggins, and it goes out for a throw which will be taken belatedly by Doughty right in front of the assistant referee over on that far touchline. And the Luton fans in front of us rise to their feet again as the clock ticks the game into minute 89, because they know they are really close. And after all the bad years here at Luton, with everything that happened back in 2008 with the huge points deduction that led to them being relegated out of the league, it took them a fair time to come back up, 6 seasons playing in the National League. Now on the verge potentially of a return to the Premier League. 90 minutes away if they hold on for the last 5 here. Luton clear again. Ball brought down by 09, who's got the captain's armband now for Sunderland. Ball's with Patterson. Patterson much nearer the edge of the centre circle than the edge of his own penalty area. Luton win it back as it's played forward, but they don't have it back for long. Ekwa back for 09. Still bearing in mind the situation they find themselves in, something of a patience about Sunderland in the way they bring it forward. Now Mishu, though, playing into his right, trying to inject a little bit of tempo. Roberts, left-footed effort, way over the bar. And out of play for another goal kick. And by the time we take it, I think the game will be a stoppage time.
Yeah, you said it. Really patient build-up from Sunderland, and it is patient, but it has to be patient. They can't just throw the ball in the box. And that's exactly what Luton want, for them to hit it long, they'll win that first ball and pick up the pieces. So they can't do that. They have to continue playing this way. They're doing their best. They have really pushed hard in this last 10-15 minutes or so. They had a lot of the ball and they've restricted Luton to... I mean, Luton have sat back, in all fairness, as the games and the minutes are ticking away. They've sat deeper and deeper, invited and let Sunderland have it in front of them. And that, unfortunately, has been a big problem for Sunderland tonight. Everything has been in front of Luton's defence, nothing in behind.
Luton are in front of Sunderland. 3-2 on aggregate as we go into 4 added minutes. We're in them now. And an opportunity for Sunderland to bring the ball forward. Ahmad towards that far touchline. Sunderland have to score in the next 4 minutes. Pat Roberts. Luton doing well, but more defending for them to do. Clark wriggling. And Roderick Campanzu can clear. Brought down by 09 inside the centre circle. Couldn't get the ball cleanly from between his feet for a moment, but he can recycle it out towards Niall Huggins on the Sunderland right-hand side. Another opportunity for Ahmad to ride the challenges. Played in towards Mishu. Mishu going down, no foul. And then it's cleared before it gets to Ekwa. And Sunderland will pick it up again, but they're inside their own half. 09, square to his goalkeeper. Patterson will bring it forward, taps it into the feet of Ekwa. Ekwa down towards Barr turning. There's a real urgency about Sunderland, but as Matt was saying, they know they can't sacrifice their principles. There's no point, it just won't work. We've got to keep playing the same way, but they've only got 2.5 minutes now to find this goal.
Yeah, credit to Sunderland, because they have played some good stuff tonight, but they've just lacked that clinical edge up front. Luton are tired. They're scrapping, they're fighting for every loose ball, but they look a tired team.
Luton win it back, but they've given a free kick away in the process, which will be taken 7 yards inside the Sunderland half. And it'll be launched forward with 2 minutes of stoppage time to go.
I don't think it will. I think they'll have to play. They won't launch it forward. They're going to play short, surely, and they have done.
Yeah, Clark back for 09. You're absolutely right. 09 out to the right for Diallo. And Ahmad picking it up, taking it towards halfway into or through to the Champions League final. They've beaten Milan over on Talksport 2-1-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. Sunderland bringing it forward again. It's Huggins. His touch was heavy, and as he pulled it back in the nick of time, he managed to flick it off a Luton player and out for a Sunderland corner. And it could be distilled as simply as this, that the whole season for Sunderland depends on this. Patterson has made his way forward. It's a 93rd minute corner. 2 on the edge of the D, 8 in the penalty area. Swung in, left-footed, high towards the far post and headed away brilliantly by one of the Luton Town defenders. And then cleared up the line, and there's nobody back. It's 3 against 1. Cody Drama. And he rolls it towards goal and it's missed. He's put it wide. He had 2 options to his left. I mean, Patterson was still 70 yards away from his own penalty area. Drama could have walked the ball into the net, but he went for goal and he side-footed it wide into the side netting. It's utterly inexplicable. And there is still 40 seconds to go for Sunderland to punish that. And that's a monumental let-off for them. Alice is now forward. It's headed down. One back by Nakamba. Cleared by Amari Bell. Headed back by O'Neill. Down towards Trejeu. Ahmad on the right-hand touchline. Wins the throw. He should be all over, but Sunderland have still got the merest hint of a lifeline.
I'm still rubbing my eyes. I can't quite believe what I've seen. Patterson was, like as you quite rightly say, 80 yards from goal, even further. It's 3 versus 1. He had so many options. Pass it to a teammate, roll it into the empty net. He just dribbled it wide.
Sunderland come again. Forward with Mishu. Mishu out to the right-hand side of the penalty area. It stood up very deep, but into the hands of Ethan Horvath. The 4 minutes are up. Oh, there's been Lockyer has pushed Alice over inside the penalty area, and the referee is going to try and calm things down there. There's a yellow card for Alice for his part in that. Is Lockyer going to get booked as well? Doesn't look as though that is the case. Simon Hooper still telling Ethan Horvath to delay the restart. Now puts the yellow card back in his pocket. The Luton fans are singing at Wembley. The Luton players have big beaming grins on their face, because when Ethan Horvath takes this goal kick, I think the full-time whistle will go. Horvath smacks it upfield. Referee happy for a few more seconds yet. Headed on, out of play for a Sunderland throw on the left-hand touchline. O'Nine's going to take it. It's got no options. Gets the ball back, hooks it forward. That's it. Luton are at Wembley. They are in the playoff final. And it goes off in the midfield between Lockyer and Alice again. And players from both sides go and try and calm them down. Fans from Luton Town have run onto the pitch, not many of them in all honesty, to celebrate the moment. Some of the players in orange engulfed by their supporters, delighted with what they've seen. Still finger wagging going on now between Nakamba and Alice in there. And some of the Luton fans are coming and are taunting Sunderland players, who will do well to try and get off down the tunnel as best they can. Luton fans also, just a minority of them, taunting the Sunderland fans away behind that goal, away to the left-hand side. A pitch invasion seems reminiscent of those that Luton weren't happy with this time last year at Huddersfield, when Huddersfield knocked them out in the semi-finals. But tonight the bottom line is Luton have got the job done with goals from Osho and Lockyer, and the fairy tale rise to the Premier League is still on. 9 years after winning promotion out of non-league, Luton are 90 minutes away from the Premier League. Can they replicate the Wimbledon side of the late 70s, early 80s? A 9-year rise from non-league football into the top flight. It's still on. They're 90 minutes away. It will be Luton against Middlesbrough or Coventry at Wembley on Saturday week, because Luton have got the job done tonight, and Sunderland's magnificent season comes to a heartbreaking end in Bedfordshire, done by set pieces and injuries. They've lost 2-0 on the night and 3-2 on aggregate.